Okay guys, this is the coolest feature ever on a trolling motor. This is the stuff that separates trolling motors from all other companies. I fish a lot of tournaments. I love getting out on the water. What I hate is when you get on the water and things don't work. You know, that's why I run a Mercury, because I just have no issues with my motor. The thing's rock solid. My trolling motor, man, years ago, you always had to worry about you hit a big bump, or you're too hard on your equipment, cable breaks, you're out of commission unless you have a spare one in your boat and you know how to change it. So I always carried a spare trolling motor for tournaments. When I travel, when I fished BASS back in the day, when I did the Bass Cat Invitationals, when I do local tournaments, I always carried a backup trolling motor, because Murphy Law will come and bite you in the butt when you least expect it, especially with anything electronic. I like keeping things simple. I'm not like a lot of other people. I don't like a lot of gadgets in my boat. I don't like things working through other units, because if something fails in one end, it usually the whole system's down. I've seen this time and time again at tournaments here. Other trolling motors, the whole system's within the unit. You can't update it when you're on the water. Something happens and it's a glitch. I'm telling you what, there's a power steering cable. It's power steering for this MotorGuide Tour Pro. The cool thing about it is, if you have any issues at all, if something goes glitchy, you're fishing, you need to stay on the water. It doesn't matter if you're fun fishing or tournament fishing. There's a code, and what this does, it takes the system out of the power steering control, which means it's disconnecting the electrical part, the motherboard basically, of the trolling motor, and it's giving you a manual trolling motor, a manual cable driven trolling motor. Basically, you have two trolling motors in one. If something glitchy goes on with your trolling motor, you take your key fob, it disengages the power steering, it goes to a standard cable driven trolling motor. Coolest thing on the block. A lot of people don't know that with MotorGuide. This is the stuff that separates companies. This is the stuff that are forward-thinking anglers who are actually using the tools when they're out on the water. So this is a big shout out to MotorGuide. When I found out about this capability just recently, that is why I did upgrade to the newest MotorGuide model. We're gonna disconnect the power-driven system for this MotorGuide Pro Tour. We're gonna show you how it drives, runs, and then we're gonna re-engage it. So let's get up there and do that right now. I'm telling you, this separates this trolling motor now from everybody, and whoever thought about this over at MotorGuide, they are geniuses. I'm giving them a huge shout out. So let's take a look. Okay, so what we're gonna do is hit M288. So what we just did is we took this whole unit and we took it out of power steering. This is a cable driven trolling motor right now. It's firmer. It's like an old school cable. This is the bitchinest thing you are gonna ever see. So M288 on the new MotorGuide Tour Pro, and literally it doesn't have power steering. Now, it's not going to hook up to satellite. It takes a lot of the bells and whistles out of this system, but if you ever have an issue with the trolling motor and the power steering, or something's getting glitchy, M288, and now you have another trolling motor. It's just a standard cable-driven trolling motor. This is the coolest stuff ever. To go back into power steering, you're going to hit M287. You hear audible beep. It'll hook back up to satellite, and now you're back into power steering. You have to start thinking of an angler and what happens, and when Murphy Law shows up, and I kid you not, it happens more than you think, especially during a tournament. I'm not out of the tournament. I'm working with companies that are forward thinkers. I'm using equipment that I'm taking a lot of the guesswork out of it. I'm taking as many factors where Murphy Law could come and knock on my door. I'm getting rid of it. MotorGuide with a new power steering disengage capability to go just to a standard cable driven trolling motor is cutting edge. You have two trolling motors in one. You have a backup that, like I said, when Murphy Law comes knocking, you're protected. You hit your key fob, M288, you disengage the power steering, it goes to standard cable-driven trolling motor, but you re-engage it, boom, M287, boom, you go right back into powered steering mode, you're ready to rock and roll. Guys, make sure you follow MotorGuide. They have some incredible stuff. I will make sure, go through this list. I'm gonna put it up here on the screen right now. The list is incredible. It's a cheat sheet, it does it all. But I'm telling you, the secret sauce to the MotorGuide is being able to disengage the power steering, have a standard cable-driven trolling motor. It is that awesome. It is truly that awesome. Hope you guys enjoy this little piece of information that we're bringing you from MotorGuide. If you guys have any questions, make sure you follow MotorGuide at social media. Reach out to them on the website. Their tech support is incredible. Their units, their product. Hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure you follow along at the BBZ TV and the BBZ.com for more information on fishing out there, technical stuff, industry news, cool stuff. But we appreciate it. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to get on the water, go catch a couple fish, and then before it gets 110 degrees out here today, we're going to get out of here. So let's get to it.